What happens if you are mixing the Anno series with a little bit of Sid Meier's Pirates and you try to do that all on an indie budget? Well, what happens is the game you were seeing here in the background, which is called Republic of Pirates, I've been playing in the last few days, and what you are seeing here is a free play mission. Yes, there's a full blown campaign where you can just follow the story. It's fully voice acted. There are cutscenes there, and it's actually pretty nice. But you're also restricted on what you can do in the campaign mission, right? And I wanted to show you a little bit more of it, so I started a free play. And this is where we are at. And when you are seeing this, your first thought is probably, wow, that looks like Anno through and through. And it's like, yeah, because it is. Like, it is a game based on Anno gameplay with some additions here and there and some changes they made and some other ideas they have on their own. And that's what Republic of Pirate is. And as I said, you are starting on an island like in the Anno series, right? And then you are slowly starting to build your little hamlet. You are starting out with laborers, which is the lowest tier of workers. The good thing is they only need 3 resources to be contempt, right? But then if you want to upgrade them, you have to make sure that you have those 3 resources. The ones are just there to get you more money if you need them. And when you upgrade them, well, you realize very quickly, oh shoot, they now want meat, they want clothes and other things so that you can upgrade them to actually tier 3. How do you get that? Well, it's pretty simple, right? You go under needs, you go under meat, and you need a boar hunting lodge, but you realize, oh, I need clay. Well, the problem is my island doesn't have clay. So what am I doing next, also very much Anno-esque, is you have to find an island which actually has clay, like this one, right? There's also an island over here which has clay, but it's armed to the teeth, and you don't really want to go there with your cheap little ships. So you want to go down there on this island and start immediately to take over this island. You will destroy like all the ships and all the buildings. And after you have done that, you can start your clay production. As you can see there, the clay mines. And then you are starting to get that there, which I have to note. I know that some people will find this really annoying, but I like it, kinda. All the resources you're producing on an island are globally available to you at any time. You don't have to send out any convoys like in the Anno series. And I think this is really the main selling point of this game, where in Anno, let's be honest here, I love Anno. Anno was one of my top 5 games when it came out that year, and I still hold it in very, very high regards. And I do believe it's the best Anno game of all time. But, and I also have to say this, it can get really overwhelming sometimes. You have so many things you have to look out for, the different islands, the different continents, the different convoys, and it just gets super convoluted. And this game definitely tried to cut back on that. So if somebody's asking me, for whom is this game? The answer is, well, for people who looked at Anno 1800 and got completely overwhelmed and want to have an easier start into this type of game. And if you are already an avid Anno player, if you're a veteran of the Anno series, this game is not for you. You will not find anything here which can compete directly with Anno. It is not replacing Anno, and it's certainly not offering you more than Anno 1800. That is the hard truth on this game. But again, it doesn't have to be that, because it doesn't try to replace Anno. It doesn't try to be just the better Anno. It tries to be an option for people who just got overwhelmed with Anno. Now let's talk a little bit about the ships. You can just build your ships like in the Anno series, right, at the shipyard, and you have multiple ships to choose from, which are all having also their special ability you can then use in combat to give you an edge. But what is far more important than a ship is a captain, because as you can see, even though I have the resources, I cannot build this ship. Why? Because I have to choose a captain, and I don't have a captain hired right now. So you have to hire a captain, and the captains are all coming with different levels, with different perks when they are reaching a certain level, and they will of course gain XP by doing fights, and then when they are leveling up, they will unlock the perks, right? So you hire the person, and then you can actually start the production of your ship, and then you can just assign them there, and then you are good to go, and now the ship is being built. Keep in mind there is a limit to the amount of captains you can have. That is right now a total limit of 6, but later on there will be more captains available to you. And then you can start to conquer the islands, or as you can also see here, we have multiple trading routes and different factions, and some of those factions are yellow, which means they will only attack you when you attack them and you try to plunder them, or if they are red, that means they are also pirates which will attack you on sight. But you can then go out there and plunder the trading routes and get some resources you would normally only get when you are like going on an island, right? So you can gain some and gather some resources by just attacking the trading routes. And that's really much what this game has to offer. But there are also issues. As I said, this game is an indie game, and it doesn't have the budget to face off with Anno. It doesn't try to do that. But there are just some things I don't fully understand. And there are clearly some weird balance issues slash design decisions. Like, one of the things I really don't like is the range of some of the buildings you need to make your people happy. Like the marketplace. You need a marketplace for the people. And look at that. This is where I built a marketplace. This is where I built a marketplace right here. And it doesn't even cover this whole area. You can already see that there is some area which is not covered, which means that those people do not really get the marketplace at all. They only get a little bit because they're still in the yellow area right here. But yeah, you have to build so many of those marketplaces, which are also costing you money. The same goes with the brothel. And especially at the beginning, you have to be super careful about this because you might go bankrupt because you're building too many of those buildings they want and need. The same goes with production buildings. I sometimes have moments where this building doesn't have enough resources, even though we have a cottage plantation right next to it, and the cottage plantation is deciding to send the resources first to the depot or send it over here to this sail maker, which should get the cottage from this cottage plantation, right? And it's like, why are you doing this? Pathfinding is sometimes a little bit weird in this game, not gonna lie. Another thing which I definitely realized, and I don't really like too much, so you can move your cam through the minimap, right? But you cannot give your ships any ways they have to go to. Like, you cannot give them any commands. That was the word I was looking for. You cannot give them any commands on the minimap. But you can give them commands on the big map, right? That they should sail, but you cannot move your camera on the big map. I was like, wait, why? Why would you? Huh? Weird, right? It's a bit weird sometimes, and it's all like the small things which just make you wonder, why do you do that? Another thing which I deeply miss is you have this really cool wheel where you can choose like downgrade, repair, dirt roads, upgrade, demolish, but there is nothing to move a building. You can only demolish buildings. So if you made a mistake on where you wanted to build a building, you have to go under demolish, and then you have to demolish the building. And it's like, oh no, don't do that. So yeah, no movement for the buildings as well, which is a little bit unfortunate. I would wish to have that. And again, it's like a lot of small things. They also don't care for where you build the houses. So you could basically just build all those houses next to the production areas, and it wouldn't make a difference because they don't care for dirt, they don't care for sound. They just want to live somewhere. And that's a bit unfortunate. But again, it's an indie game. It's built on a budget, right? While Anno has much more freedom there. And but they are just some choices which I don't fully understand why they made that. So TLDR, for everyone is still asking, for whom is this game for? Like, it's really for the people who played Anno and thought, you know what? Anno was fun, but it was too much for me. For everyone who just wants more Anno or even wants a better Anno, this game is not for you. Simple as that. But with that said, we are done with another episode of Mole Thoughts. I hope you enjoyed it. If you still have some questions or other thoughts, let me know down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like. And if you love strategy games, then you might want to subscribe to the channel, because that's what we are focusing on here. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.